Welcome back. We've been talking the drama in Paris. We've been talking about the Democratic debate last night in Des Moines, and no better person to analyze this with than presidential candidate Donald Trump, who joins us live by phone this morning. Good morning, Mr. Trump.
Good morning, Tucker. That's some group you have over there this morning.
It's pretty impressive. So you heard the Democratic candidates. You heard the Democrats last night say America has, quote, a moral obligation to let in refugees from Syria. What do you think of that?
Well, if they want to continue being fools, I think they should do it because, that's what we have been over the last long period of time. We're constantly doing the wrong thing. We don't know anything about these people. We don't know where they come from. I see that one of the bombers, one of the folks over that just was killed was also from Syria and just migrated over to the area. We're going to take 65,000. I've actually heard 250,000, Tucker. I've heard a lot more than 65. They were discussing 65 last night during the debate, but I've heard they're talking about 250,000. I think we're just absolutely crazy.
Well, I mean, you've said this first, and you were the first one to point this out. You said you're looking at the footage, and you expect to see refugees, women and children, and you're seeing strong men in prime fighting years, 20s and 30s. Where are they running from?
That's right, Brian. I said it on your show, and the next day everybody was saying it. It was very interesting. I saw the migration, and I said, it's really strange. I said to my wife, I was watching it, and I said, there's so many men, and they're strong-looking men. Why aren't they fighting? Why aren't they back and trying to take over their country or doing whatever they're supposed to be doing? But there were so many strong-looking men, and there were so few women and so few children. And I started saying, then I was hearing that 200 and 250,000 number, which I assume you folks have also heard. Last night I heard 65, but I've been hearing 200,000 and 250,000. I said, wow, that could be the ultimate Trojan horse. That would be unbelievable. This could only happen to Obama.
Well, that's the problem. Good morning, Donald. Thanks for being with us.
Hi, Kimberly.
Yes, nice to have you on the show. So when I was listening last night to the Democratic debate, it really seems that there are some clear choices for the voters. You have Hillary Clinton, who is an extension of Barack Obama's failed foreign policy, afraid to even call it radical Islam, saying that it's not the biggest threat. As if you were president, it's President Trump, what would you do? How would you handle this?
Well, you have Obama that refuses to use the term. It's incredible. He refuses to use it. Now, I wonder if that changes as of yesterday, but he refuses to even define what it is. And tough to win when you have a thing like that. Then you have the thing that got me two things was that Hillary sort of backed away from Wall Street. Look, I'm from New York. I know Hillary. I know everybody. Hillary is owned by Wall Street. She always has been. Mm-hmm. She's totally owned by Wall Street. And I was sort of laughing to myself last night as she was backing away, saying she helped them at September 11th. That was, how she got to know Wall Street. I just got to know him during September 11th because she helped him so much. No, she didn't help him so much. No, she's been owned by Wall Street from day one, and everybody knows it. So I smiled at that one. But the other one that was amazing was global warming caused the problem yesterday. That was from Bernie Sanders. Yeah, that was that was a rather amazing. In fact, I sort of turned it on at that point. And I heard that. That was my first statement, and I said, whoa, there must be something else.
And you got to tweet. And that's what Donald Trump, when you run for president, you got to sit there on a Saturday night and try to find, number one, the debate, find three people that want to watch it with you, and then be able to take some notes and tweet about it.
And O'Malley, of course, was the mayor of Baltimore. Okay, now what's he doing up there? He's got a lot of nerve.
You called him a clown. You tweeted out he's a clown. In what way?
He is. He's never been a respected guy, and he was not a good mayor. The mayor, as a mayor of Baltimore, take a look at Baltimore. Okay, I guess obviously he could have done too good a job, even though it was a little while ago. And he was the governor of a state that has nothing but problems. And, they have had a lot of problems in Maryland. Right. Hard place to do business. I do business all over.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of stuff in Virginia right next door. You go to Maryland, hard place to do business, really hard.
So let's say you're the president right now. Paris gets attacked by ISIS. How do you respond? What do you do?
Well, what you have to do is you have to toughen up. Look, I was never in favor of the war of Iraq. You know that because I've been saying it to you folks for years, from 2003. I mean, it was a mistake. We destabilized and all of that. Well, that's done. Then Obama came in and he did a terrible ending because by letting everybody go out, he just gave it to everybody else. And now we have to do something different, I have to say. We have to go in. We have to knock the hell out of these people. And we have to do it with others also. We can't always be the only one doing it. This was Paris attack. The French, I think they're fully engaged. I really do believe. But, and we'll see, because, a lot of times they aren't so engaged. but right now they're fully engaged. We have to get the Kurds involved. You know, the one thing that seems to be a constant, and the one group that seems to really fight over there and want to fight and almost enjoy fighting are the Kurds. And with all of the different groups, the one group you saw last night, they cut off the roads, they took the city.
They're very good.
No, they're really fighters. And, you know, they're the ones we treat the worst. We don't give them anything. They have to take their own weapons. It's crazy. We give them less than anybody. We're backing people to go after Assad, who's a bad guy, but the people we're backing, we're giving them hundreds of millions of dollars worth of equipment, and we don't even know who they are.
So Donald Trump, you would say there's a little bit of a change. You said let's let Russia knock out ISIS, but you know they're not doing that. They're just going after some rebels. Now Russia gets a plane blown out of the sky. It looks like ISIS is behind it. If we could see a map right now of everywhere ISIS is, they have a judicial system, they have an economy, they actually have a tax system, they have set up a mini country. Do you agree that that's our enemy? And do you agree that that's the place to put troops? And if we have to, because that is the enemy of the U.S.
From the moment I saw James Foley have his head cut off by these animals, that was when I said, you have to do something. We can't allow this to happen. James Foley, whose parents I got to know, who are terrific people. From that moment, I said, you have to go in. Now, as far as Russia's concerned, they just had a plane. So, you know, they want to get ISIS, too. They don't want ISIS coming into Russia. That's the thing with Russia. So they're going to be there. And anybody that wants to join that fight, as far as I'm concerned, it's okay with me. But we have to go in strong on ISIS, ideally with lots of different groups, and we have to be vicious. We can't be nice. We can't be politically correct. You know, we fight these politically correct wars all the time, and we get nowhere. When I was growing up, we never lost a war. Everyone used to say the United States never lost a war. We never win wars. I mean, you look at Vietnam, not that we should have been there in the first place, but we don't win wars anymore. You know, we don't win wars. We take them to a neutral, or we get out. And then you have a president announce when he's getting out of Iraq. So you have a president, when he announced that we're getting, everyone just backed up and they said, oh, good, I can't believe he told us. Then we have a president who last week announced that 50 brave soldiers, our finest, are going over to Syria, and they're going over to Iraq. And instead of just being quiet and not saying anything, and now those 50 soldiers are being hunted because they want to find those 50 soldiers. Now, he did it for public relations purposes. But those 50 soldiers are in grave danger right now because instead of going over and quietly doing their job, they're being hunted. So we have a president who doesn't know what he's doing.
So what's the end game here? The official U.S. policy is to take out Assad, but who should run Syria at the end of the day, do you think?
Well, we have to have an end game. I think Assad, honestly, Tucker, I think Assad is less important than what's going on in other parts. I mean, Assad is there. He's bad. But the people that we're backing could be worse. I spoke to a general 2 weeks ago. He said, we have no idea who these people are. A lot of the people that I spoke to think that the people that we're backing could be ISIS. So I really think we have bigger problems than Assad. I think Assad's a bad guy, but I think the people that replace him that we're backing could be worse than Assad. And now we're not backing them so hard because you can end up probably in World War III over this thing if we have stupid leaders, and we certainly do have leaders that don't know what they're doing. We have to take out ISIS. And when I looked at your map this morning, that was really intriguing. I mean,
let's take a look.
We know where they are.
Right.
We know they say basically come and get us. They have basically said to France, please fight us. Hey, Russia, we're killing innocent civilians. Please fight us. Hey, America, what else is it going to take? We've been shooting you one by one.
And they said American blood is best.
We've picked up 74 this year alone. Our FBI director says, listen, I'm telling you right now, we can't find everyone that's here. They've gone silent thanks to Edward Snowden and company. So they're basically asking us for this fight. But I got to ask you in the big picture. We have been cutting back on our defense budget. Marco Rubio says, I want to put billions more in. Rand Paul says that's not acting conservative. Where do you stand?
Rand Paul is so wrong on that. We have no choice. We're not going to have a country. And, you know, something else is they're being radicalized online. They call them the bedroom jihad. I don't know if you've heard the expression. But they are using online and the Internet better than we've ever used it. We've got to shut that down. And when somebody goes over to fight for ISIS, we allow them back. And so do other countries. They allow them back. Those days are gone. So,
they're afraid to revoke the passports. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, because it won't be politically correct, okay? You know, guy comes back, and then they decide to do things over here. And don't be surprised if you see some really bad things starting to happen over here. We're not tough enough. We're not smart enough. We have the wrong leadership. We need new leaders.
Yeah.
We need Trump.
All right, there was a poll out that was pretty good towards you. I think Reuters put it out. I don't know if we have it right now, but it has you up in the 40s in terms of the support you have on the Republican side. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I'm honored by it. I think I had a good debate. It was very good. And, a lot of good things have happened over the last couple of weeks in terms of my campaign. I'm getting very big praise.
I hear all these people saying that you're attacking Ben Carson, has put an end to the Trump surge. Do you think that helps you in the end, the speech you gave in Iowa recently? Or
I thought it was a good speech. I mean, the people that were there were giving me standing ovations. No, I have certain people. It's just like no different than what we're talking about with ISIS. Or you have people that you're competing against. When you compete, you have to compete. Ben said very bad things about himself in a book. He said he was pathological. He said bad things. I mean, if you're pathological, that's a problem. I gave a speech, and I basically just quoted from the book. I had a standing ovation. The crowd went crazy. It was an amazing night. And I would think it would have an impact, but, maybe I'm wrong. But certainly if somebody said that he's pathological, has a pathological temper, has a pathological disease, and this isn't my words, Tucker, this is his words.
Right.
That would affect, I will tell you one thing, that would affect me. If somebody said that he went after his mother with a hammer, and he tried to hit his mother over the head with a hammer, yes, that would have an impact on me. I would not vote for that person.
Wow, he was 12.
No, he was 14.
Okay.
But if somebody said that he attacked somebody and thrust a knife into his stomach and it hit a belt, which I don't believe, because I don't believe that the whole belt thing is ridiculous. But it just happened to hit a belt and the knife broke. So there are things that he hit his friend, another friend. He hit him in the face with a padlock, hard, and really hurt him. You know what? I'm not for that person. I'm sorry.
But he did overcome a lot, controlled his temper, and became a internationally world-renowned surgeon.
Well, I don't know what happened, but I can tell you that there are certain things.
He did.
There are certain things, and all I'm doing is virtually quoting.
Right.
I'm not virtually. I'm quoting from the book.
Right.
And he wrote the book. I didn't write it.
Well, by the way, Ann Coulter said that in the light of these horrific terror attacks in Paris, so that just guaranteed that Donald Trump becomes president of the United States. You get the nomination. So people are very concerned about terror and about leadership choices. And so that's what this election should be about.
Ann Coulter has been amazing, and she's been an amazing supporter. And, she agrees with what I'm doing at the border. She agrees with what I'm doing with the wall. The wall will be built. And now everyone's saying that didn't agree with the wall. Now they're all saying, you're right about the wall, build the wall, build the wall. And believe me, these people are coming in through the southern border, too. Don't kid yourselves. Right. So we have to get very tough, and we have to get very smart fast.
It used to be Mondays with Donald Trump. Now it's Sundays with Donald Trump, the presidential candidate. Thanks so much.
Thanks for making time for
joining
us. We appreciate it.
Thank you all.
All right.